Sometimes the past returns through something small. A song begins playing in a store. The smell of coffee, rain, old wood, or a familiar perfume suddenly places you in another room, another year, another version of your life. For a few seconds, the present loosens its grip. What you feel is not simple happiness. It is warmth mixed with ache. You are not only remembering what happened. You are remembering how it felt to be you when it happened. That is why nostalgia can become stronger after 50. It may seem that you miss a house, a neighborhood, a decade, or a person. But often, those things are only the doorway. What you really miss is a way of being alive. You may miss possibility, recognition, and time that was not constantly measured by usefulness. Nostalgia is not always a request to go backward. Sometimes it is a message from a part of you that wants to be included again. Memory does not preserve life like a camera. It preserves meaning. An old kitchen may represent family before everyone scattered. A first apartment may represent independence. A song may represent a future that had not yet chosen its shape. You may not miss the place itself. You may miss what the place allowed you to feel. And you may not miss the people exactly as they were. You may miss who you were in their presence. When people from earlier chapters disappear, you do not only lose their company. You lose witnesses to parts of your identity. Early adulthood often returns vividly because it was full of first experiences and open possibilities. After 50, the future can feel more defined. Not necessarily worse, but more shaped by what has already happened. So when your mind returns to an earlier period, it may not be saying, everything was better then. It may be saying, I remember when more seemed possible. That difference matters. If you believe you only miss youth, there is nothing you can do. Time cannot reverse. But if you understand that you miss possibility, the question changes. Where has possibility disappeared from your life now? Consider Laura, 63. While clearing a closet, she finds a faded recipe card written by her older sister, who died several years earlier. The recipe is for a cake they used to make on Sundays. Laura begins to cry. The card brings back a small kitchen, flour on the counter, music on the radio, and the two of them laughing because the cake had fallen in the middle. No one was asking Laura to solve anything. She was simply a sister in a kitchen. At first, she thinks she misses the old house. Then she realizes she barely remembers it. What she misses is the way time felt inside it. She misses being with someone who did not need her to perform competence. The card is not asking Laura to return to that kitchen. It is asking a different question. Where in your present life are you allowed to be unproductive, unguarded, and known? That is the kind of question nostalgia often carries. Nostalgia is closely connected to belonging. A song reminds you of who listened with you. A neighborhood reminds you of doors you could knock on without planning weeks ahead. What feels simpler may actually mean more connected. Modern adult life can become strangely efficient and strangely unheld. You may speak to many people and still feel known mainly by your current function. This is why an old friend can awaken a part of you within minutes. The humor returns. The rhythm returns. Even your voice may change slightly. You are not pretending to be younger. You are reconnecting with a part of yourself attached to that relationship. The deeper pain is often not, I want those people back exactly as they were. It is, I want to feel known again. There is another layer. After decades of adapting to what life required, you can become extremely capable and increasingly difficult to locate inside your own schedule. You know what needs to be done. But when someone asks what you want, the answer may not come quickly. Nostalgia can return because the earlier self seems easier to recognize. You remember what music you loved. You remember the hobby you practiced without asking whether it was useful. You may believe the vividness of the past proves that your most meaningful life is behind you. It does not. It may reveal that your present life has become too crowded for meaning to register. You are comparing the edited highlights of decades with the unprocessed paperwork of Tuesday afternoon. Of course, the past seems more meaningful. Nostalgia can also hold grief for the selves you did not become. A career not attempted. A creative life postponed. A direction never explored. You may think you missed the year. What you may actually miss is the self who still believed there would be time for everything. You may be grateful for the life you chose and still grieve the lives that could not be lived alongside it. Maturity means listening to that grief without letting it erase the value of your real life. The unlived life becomes dangerous when you idealize it. No actual life can compete with a fantasy that never had to encounter reality. But it can also teach you something. It may contain qualities that still matter: adventure, creativity, tenderness, independence, community, play, or rest. The original path may be closed, but the quality may not be. The form may be gone. The need may still be alive. This is the central inversion. Nostalgia is not proof that you belong in the past. It may be evidence that something valuable from the past is missing in the present. That changes nostalgia from a destination into information. The question is no longer, how do I get back? The question becomes, what quality of being alive did that memory contain? Was it belonging? Was it being seen? Was it possibility? Was it play? Was it a slower relationship with time? Once you name the quality, you can begin working with the need. The next time nostalgia arrives, do not begin with the decade or with, "I miss being young." Begin with the exact scene. I miss sitting at the table after dinner while no one rushed away. I miss the friend who understood my humor. I miss being in a room where I was not responsible for everyone's feelings. Specific memories reveal specific needs. Then ask, what emotion was available to me in that scene? Freedom. Belonging. Ease. Safety. Hope. Recognition. Now ask what part is truly gone and what part can be created in a new form. Some losses cannot be reversed. A person may have died. A family may have changed. A home may be gone. But even inside irreversible loss, there may be a living value. You cannot bring back the person, but you can speak their name, cook the recipe, and tell the story. You cannot reopen every possibility, but you can learn something new, protect an afternoon, or call someone without waiting for a practical reason. The present does not need to imitate the past. It needs to recover what the past represented. Ask one more question. What did the earlier version of me know that I have stopped listening to? Perhaps that version knew how to become absorbed. Perhaps you trusted your own preferences before so many people had opinions about them. The younger self was not always right. But it may have held information that the efficient adult learned to ignore. You do not need to obey that earlier self. You need to include it. A mature identity is built by allowing the different chapters to belong to the same person. So what is it that you miss after 50? Not only the decade. Not only youth. You miss being connected to people who knew your story. You miss a future that felt open. You miss time that was not always measured by usefulness. You miss parts of yourself that became quiet while you were taking care of everything else. The past cannot return. But those parts of you do not have to remain there. The mature response to nostalgia is not to worship it and not to silence it. It is to decode it. To recognize what has been lost. To grieve what cannot be restored. And then to carry forward what still can. The past has meaning because it still lives in the person who is here now, and that person can still create moments that will one day be remembered with tenderness. If this reflection helped you understand something about your own inner life, subscribe to Inner Life Decoded for more thoughtful explorations of the psychology behind what you feel, do, and repeat.